Hello, everybody, and I'm kind of late on this review, so you're gonna have to excuse me for that. One, I should say, I know it's a couple days late or a few days late. I should be saying wake up, it's the first of the month, but at the same time, I'm hoping everybody out there is having a very safe and holiday weekend. But I said I was gonna come back with this, given I was late on this review. So yes, Impact Wrestling. I haven't really talked about it in the past couple days. I've been meaning to, but a lot of shit has happened that I had no time. I know about the rating, and it's not really good, given what you even had on the show too. And I think that's very concerning at the same time, and something needs to be done about that, especially heading into Slammiversary and whatnot. But there are some things to talk about on this show. I guess we were supposed to have Satoshi Kojima versus Eddie Edwards, but Eddie Edwards never came out. They showed W. Morrissey up on the screen, basically saying that Eddie won't be able to make it. You guys are supposed to be friends and looking out each other's back and whatnot. But Morrissey basically went on to say that people in this locker room have Eddie's back too. They're supposed to have his back, but nobody's here to help Eddie. He got laid out a few minutes ago in the parking lot. So since he didn't come out there, um, Kojima's now all there alone, just like everybody else, in this world and whatnot. Next, Brian Myers and Sam Beal came out. Myers saying, like, you're not supposed to be on this card, so beat it, okay? And listen, my young boy here, Sam Beal, basically, was out there with him. Myers basically, you could leave the ring and whatnot because you have no advice to offer. But he was here to call out Jake something. Kojima basically got pissed off then, trying to get Myers' attention. Next, we got a brawl then after that. Jake something came out. It came to a bigger brawl, and then it was a tag team match between Kojima and something versus Myers and Beal. Then after that, not a bad match or whatnot. Kojima getting the win with the big lariat on the Sam Beal, most expected. Now, apparently, the reason why Eddie Edwards may not be able to do this match, apparently, so what I've heard, he had surgery or he's hurt right now. I'm not really sure on the, what's going on with that right now, but that's what I have heard about Eddie Edwards recently. So I may need to look that up. But apparently, someone say he had surgery recently and whatnot. But still, a very good tag match. Um, Next, Scott Moore's in the back talking about the whole Tommy Dreamer being sent here by Anthem, saying things have been chaotic and whatnot, but he's trying to still handle things and stuff. Next, we got like some tart car. Rosemary and Havoc teleport then into there, saying they still want a tag team title shot. Then after title shot against Fire and Flavor, so we'll see where that goes. Tennille Dashwood went against Rachel Ellering. Good match. Jazz was out there. Caleb Conley was out there. Ellering ended up getting the win with the distraction. Next thing you know, Tennille ended up attacking Ellering and whatnot, but Jazz came in and helped. Caleb kind of got involved also. Jordan Grace came out then and helped. Next thing you know, Ellering wanted to shake her hand, but Grace slapped the hand away and ended up hugging her then after that. So is everything cool now? I still think Jordan Grace is going to turn heel sooner or later. I give it till Slammiversary till she turns on both of them and knocks the hell out of them. Like on both Rachel and Jazz. So I expect by Slammiversary, Jordan Grace will be full heel at that point. So I still think it's a play just to say she's face right now until further notice. But I do believe she's going to go full heel. Next, Chris Bay was Chris Bay being interviewed about the Ultimate X match coming up and being in a neutral party, not trying to get on any side. Ace Austin and crew showed up saying, like, you need to pick a side. Because if you don't, it's best you stay out of our lane and not get hurt, okay? TJP and Falaba went against Rich Swann and Willie Mack, which was supposed to be a tag match until Violent by Design came out and attacked, basically beating the hell out of both teams and stuff. So basically having Violent by Design look strong after that. Still would probably been a good tag match, but they took him out. Carol and Tasha Steelz talking about Havoc and Rosemary, still trying to get a title shot. They went to Scott D'Amore saying, like, man, you need to stop. We're getting treated bad around here. But D'Amore, went on to say, listen, man, it's going to be Rosemary Havoc. They're going to be a tag team match so they can be a tag team, try to get better. So we'll see what happens from there. Tommy Dreamer had his team ready for tonight against Omega and the Good Brothers. Chris Sabin, Moose, and Sami Callihan. Dreamer's the only person he can really trust is Chris Sabin out there. And he talked about Raven and whatnot, since he always does. Sabin saying we have our differences, but he's going to put the team first. Moose says, I don't like any of you guys, but he's here to put the team first also, as Callihan said he was also, because he wants to get his hands on Omega and the Good Brothers tonight. So we'll see where that's going to go. Chris Bay went against Petey Williams. Chris Bay got the win. Good match. Next thing you know, Ace Austin, Raju, Fulton, and Shearer come out and attack. Chris Bay gets out of dodge, as Miguel and Josh try to help also. But next thing you know, Bay, he was conflicted, but he ended up coming back and helping out then. So at least he picked a side for right now, helping the faces out, go against the heels. It's all these guys going to be in the Ultimate X match. So Chris Bay, I know he's suddenly heel, but I guess he's gonna stick with the faces, given that's I guess it's stick with the faces, given that he doesn't want to go on this on his own right now. So we'll see what goes on with that. Excuse me. Yeah, we're gonna see what goes on with that for one that. So yeah, Ultimate X coming up. They showed Deonna Purrazzo beating Susan last week and beating Kimberly on the BTI show before the Impact on the pre-show. Basically, they went to Kimberly and Susan. I guess they're on their own right now. They can still go after the tag titles. We can still do that. But Susan said, "What if that doesn't even work?" And Kimberly says, "We got a backup plan, and that's Su Yung." Which Susan said, "Who?" So Su Yung. Hopefully, we get Su Yung back soon, because the whole Susan gimmick has been. I don't know, I feel like the Susie thing has worked out better than the Susan. I know everyone says that the Susan gimmick is supposed to be like a parody of a Karen. I'm sure we all know what those are. It's plenty of those motherfuckers, but that's is this really working right now? It's funny sometimes, but is it really working? So Su Yung could be back by Slammiversary. I could see that happening. Jake Sullivan had a promo backstage. So he's got Targan's back, going back to his old self, and he challenged Brian Myers to a match. And, if Myers wins, he'll call him the real professional and whatnot. Next, we had Steve Macklin, formerly known as Steve Cutler. Sorry, I'm fixing something here. Yeah, Steve Macklin, formerly known as Steve Cutler, going against Manny Smith, basically a jobber. Macklin basically destroying this guy, beating the shit out of him, if you ask me. Not bad. Like I said, it's a different guy now at this point, because I sit here, it's like he's got an interesting gimmick, military background, what they're trying to go with right here. So, like I said, I'm really giving this a chance and whatnot, given that the dude didn't really do much when he was in the Forgotten Sons. And, like I said, I never really cared about them on NXT, and even with the main roster, it looks like they were going to have a chance, and, until Riker fucked the whole thing up and whatnot. So we'll see what's still going, but it's still keeping my interest now with Steve Macklin, given that he was, and I say he was probably going to be an Impact months ago anyways when they released him. So we'll see what goes on with him during the time, but I'm liking what I see so far, okay? I really am. The Good Brothers, Don Callis and Kenny Omega, come out all holding different titles. Carl Anderson, thought he was the WWE, thought he was the AEW champion right now. Gallows, TNA champion. Don Callis, the AAA Mega champion. And Kenny Omega wearing the Impact title. So, everybody holding the title. Like I said, 6-man tag. The Elite, maybe I should be saying, versus Callihan, Moose, and Sabin. Dreamer was out there also. Throughout this tag match, though, Moose was mostly not even in the match, kind of focused on his own self, almost arguing with Callihan and Sabin throughout most of the match, not even wanting to do it. Even when he was tagged in, he basically was tagged out of it and whatnot, until Moose ended up, basically almost turning on and whatnot, which, Callis, he pushed Dreamer into Moose. Moose took him down. Sabin took him with, a suicide dive. After that, Sabin got back in the ring like he's almost about to win the match. Omega hit him with a V-trigger. Next thing you know, Gallows and Anderson hitting the Magic Killer for the win, pinning Chris Sabin as Moose looked on from the back and whatnot. Basically left, Callihan and Sabin out there for the Wolves and whatnot. So, yeah. Omega and crew getting the win this week. So, I know it's Slammiversary. I know it's going to be Moose versus Sabin. I know it's Callihan versus, Omega for the title. I still personally, I know I've talked about this many, many times now. I still think at some point in time, I do believe it will be a triple threat match. Why I say that, I still think it would make sense in a way, given that Moose was screwed out of the title. I still want Moose to win the belt in general, but some will say if they put him in a match, he'll end up pinning Callihan and Nat Omega. That's a possibility, but I feel like someone needs to pin Omega in this match to have some credibility and whatnot, okay? So I can still see Moose beating Kenny Omega if they do that at the last second. But right now, I don't know how good of a chance that is. This anniversary is what, a few weeks away. I know they're supposed to have fans and even tapings with fans coming up too. So we'll see what goes on with that, okay? But honestly, they really should still be kind of worried about that bad viewership number on Access TV apparently. So I saw the show on Access, but I've said this before. How many people really have Access TV? I asked you that. How many of them do? Okay, so yeah. Other than that, though, I really need to get another channel. But other than that, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at Hood890. I'm out of here. See you guys later. Peace out. Sorry for the late review.